The main person of interest throughout the search was a man named Ricci. He was a handyman who had worked at the Smart house, and there was a lot of circumstantial evidence that pointed to the fact that he was the person who had abducted Elizabeth. In late August of 2002, Ricci died in prison. He had a brain aneurysm, and it created an incredibly difficult circumstance for the Smart family because the police had put such an emphasis on Richard Ricci that surrounding his death, there was a feeling that the search for Elizabeth and the hope of finding her would also die. So I was put in the position where I was the one responding to this, and I had to be very delicate in expressing condolences to Ricci's widow, Angela, and at the same time, keeping Elizabeth's story alive. Here's a clip from the Today Show.
It's been nearly 3 months since the 14-year-old Salt Lake City girl disappeared. Now the prime suspect, handyman Richard Ricci, is dead of a massive brain hemorrhage, and police and Elizabeth's family are wondering how to proceed. Chris Thomas is the Smart family spokesman. Chris, good morning.
Good morning, David.
Chris, how does the family want police to handle this case now?
David, let me preface my comments first off by expressing the family's heartfelt sympathy to Angela Ricci. We know that she has been through so much and that this must be a difficult time. As far as how the police are proceeding with this investigation, at this point there are just too many unanswered questions to feel that the investigation is dead. And the family actually believes that this turn of events may aid the investigation because those who may have, other people who may have been involved and those who may have information regarding Richard Ricci's possible involvement will be compelled to step forward and tell everything that they know.
You're expressing on the behalf of the Smart family their sympathy for Ricci's wife, but does the family believe that Ricci was involved in her disappearance? I mean, certainly he worked as a handyman in the Smart family house. He failed a lie detector test. He wouldn't tell police how or why he put close to 1,000 miles on his Jeep in the time around the abduction. There are a number of factors, at least potentially linking him, police have said, to her disappearance.
That's right, and the family does believe that he has some involvement. As to what that involvement is, it's difficult to say. His pattern of behavior, breaking into a neighbor's home while everybody was asleep and going into a room where a guest was sleeping and taking jewelry from that room and even conversing with this guest is just such a peculiar turn of events that it makes him very suspicious. In addition, Richard had lied to Ed Smart repeatedly, and because of these things, it makes him very suspicious that he had some involvement in the abduction of Elizabeth.
The family believes that there might be someone else involved, if indeed Ricci was involved with him. Why do you believe that that potential person might now come forward rather than just staying quiet now that their supposed accomplice is dead?
Well, they have much less to lose. And in addition, there may be people out there who have information regarding Ricci's potential involvement who are afraid to step forward because of potential retribution that we're hoping will be brave and courageous and do the right thing in coming forward with that information, no matter how insignificant it might be.
Chris, tell me how the family is doing at this juncture. I mentioned it's been nearly 3 months since Elizabeth disappeared. There's been no apparent or obvious progress in the case. Is there a sense of frustration about that?
Oh, I think there is frustration in that they don't have Elizabeth back. The family is doing as well as they possibly can under the circumstances. I am actually very inspired being around them at how strong and how much faith that they have at this point. But it is very trying.